The original Superphone now has a true successor in the HTC EVO 4G LTE for Sprint. It's available for $199, and it brings some of the features that we love about the HTC One X from AT&T, but it adds unlimited data, which is unique to Sprint, and some cool perks like a built-in kickstand. We're going to show you everything that we love and what we don't about this new Android phone. Like the HTC One X for AT&T, the EVO 4G LTE has a really bright and crisp Super LCD screen. It's 4.7 inches, but there are some pretty important cosmetic differences between the two handsets. This one is all white, and Sprint went with a black on black in the back and some red accents. And we also like sort of the aluminum details around the side and the front, which adds a touch of elegance, but also makes the phone super solid. Another key physical difference is that this has a built-in shutter button for the camera, so if you want to unlock it, you just press it down, and so you can use the screen or the built-in button. The 8-megapixel camera on the back is capable of taking 1080p video, and also you can shoot multiple shots in a row because it has a really fast shutter speed, and then you can choose the ones that you want and delete the rest. So this is a great feature when you have a dedicated image chip like you have within the HTC EVO 4G LTE. So just rounding out the rest of the design, we have the built-in kickstand, which some might seem, gimmicky to some, but we appreciate it because you can prop it up when you're charging the device, and actually really comes in handy when you're on business trips and want an alarm clock, or if you're charging it and just want to use it as a mini stereo. The sound of the speaker is actually quite loud for a phone that's this compact. It's a little bit heavier than the EVO 1 for AT&T, but we think that's worth the trade-off for something like this. On the software front, we're looking at Sense 4.0 running on top of Android Ice Cream Sandwich, and you do get some pretty cool features that you don't find on the stock OS. We like the way, for example, that Sense handles folders, and it's easier to add apps once you've set them up just by clicking on this, and then you can check off the ones that you want. And multitasking is pretty intuitive because you can see larger thumbnails of the applications that you want to swipe off the screen. So those are just two examples of the things that we like about Sense. But other things are there from the stock experience, like the ability to swipe applications off the screen. So that's a cool feature to have. And the other thing that Sprint offers that you won't find on other EVO 1 or 1 series devices is Google Wallet. So you can use this phone to make payments where the participating retailers have the readers where you can check out to purchase items. So that's really cool to have. If there's one thing that we really don't like about the EVO 4G LTE is that it just doesn't live up to its name yet, because Sprint hasn't yet rolled out its 4G LTE network. There's going to be 6 markets up and running probably sometime this summer, but beyond that, customers don't know when it's going to be coming to their neck of the woods, although Sprint promises to catch up significantly to the competition by the end of the year. But in the meantime, it's a literal waiting game in terms of getting those promised speeds. So for example, if we do a head-to-head comparison with the One X on AT&T and try to load the full New York Times site, the one on the right is already done, and the EVO 4G LTE is still working in the background. So it's not terrible, but there's a significant speed gap between the two phones, although the Sprint phone does fairly well on mobile sites. It's the full desktop sites where it really gets tripped up. So overall, the HTC EVO 4G LTE is a really great Android phone for Sprint customers because it gives you a really fast camera, a big and crisp display, and the promise of unlimited 4G LTE data once it arrives. But that's the problem. Right now it's a promise. So for people who want to future-proof their purchase, and if you're coming off one of the original EVOs, then this is definitely worth picking up. But for everyone else, we're going to say wait until the 4G LTE comes to your neck of the woods. This is Mark Spoonauer with Laptop Magazine.